Moving on to the next lesson, we have mutual rights. Islam has laid down all kind of instructions for different mutual rights among the society. What should be the attitude of parent towards their children and vice versa? What sort of relationship should prevail between brothers and sisters? How should husband and wife live together? What are the rights of neighbors? What should be the conduct of rich towards poor and vice versa? We'll start with the mutual rights of parents. The most primary and cordial relationship in this world exists between man and his parents. They are the most devoting and unselfish people in this world. In Islam, the rights of parents have been described as next to the rights of Allah. To disobey, to ignore their feeling, or to disregard their comfort and happiness has been characterized as a grievous sin. The Holy Quran says about the rights of parents in Surah Bani Israel,
وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا إما يبلغن عندك الكبر أحدهما أو كلاهما فلا تقل لهما أف ولا تنهرهما وقل لهما قولا كريما واخفض لهما جناح الذل من الرحمة وقل رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا.
Your Lord has decreed that you worship none but Him and do good to parents. If any one of them or both of them reach old age, do not say to them of a word or expression of anger or contempt, and do not scold them, and address them with respectful words, and submit yourself before them in humility out of compassion, and say, My Lord, be merciful to them as they have brought me up in my childhood. Another verse of Holy Quran goes to tell that if the parents of a person be polytheist and want him also to follow their religion, he should decline to obey them. But even then he must continue to treat them well and to behave towards them with respect. In hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it says, in the pleasure of parents lies the pleasure of Allah, and in their displeasure the displeasure of Allah. Every time a dutiful son or daughter looks with affection and respect towards his or her father or mother, Allah writes against his or her name the reward of an accepted Hajj. Upon this, some of the companions inquired Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, suppose if the person does so 100 times each day, will he even then be given the reward of an accepted Hajj for every glance he cast? Yes, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, Allah is the most great, the most holy, meaning that the bounty of the Lord is boundless. Now, having said all that, one can imagine the impact and importance of parents in the life here and hereafter. Moving on to the next chapter is the right of children. There are several rights of a child on a man. Few of them are listed here for our benefit. The first one could be name the child having a good meaning. Apart from their need of food, clothing, etc., it is a duty of a Muslim that they raise their children in such a manner that they clearly understand the path of Islam. Parents should have a balanced approach towards daughters and sons and make constant dua, prayers for their well-being. The Holy Quran says in Surah Tahrim,
يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا.
O ye who believe, save yourselves and your family from the fire of hell. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, no better gift can there be from a father to his children than that he brought them up properly. All these teachings include that they should be given a right way of Islam, the proper teaching of Islam's recitation of the Quran, and other important facts that they need to earn the salvation in this world and hereafter. The next is the rights of husband and wives. Islam has furnished a complete guidance in this respect so that we can lead a stress-free relationship. It demands from wives to be profoundly faithful to their husbands and to remain their best friends, true well-wisher, and never to betray their trust. From husbands, it requires that they should give their loves ungrudgingly to their wives, be kind and provide them the best within their means. The Holy Quran says in Surah Nisa,
فالصالحات قانتات حافظات للغيب بما حفظ الله.
So the righteous women are obedient and guard the property and honor of their husbands in their absence with the protection given by Allah. Hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, He is the most perfect believer in the sight of Allah, who is perfect in his manners and most affectionate towards his wife and children. By the Lord in whose power lies the life of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, no woman can fulfill the rights of Allah who does not fulfill the rights of her husband. Now we have the rights of relatives and neighbors. Islam has laid down a lot of emphasis on having a cordial relationship with family relatives. In Holy Quran, we are told to be kind to our kinsmen, and one who disregard and pay no attention to the bond of kinship has been condemned as a sinner of a worst order. There is a complete set of guidelines governing the rights of neighbors also. Islam has given a special attention to these relationships. Now we'll see some verses from Holy Quran. In Surah Nisa it says,
وَالْجَارِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْجَارِ الْجُنُبِ وَالصَّاحِبِ بِالْجَنبِ,
and the neighbors who are near, and the neighbors who are stranger, and the companions by your roadside. 3 categories of neighbors have been spoken in these verses, and it's expected out of us to maintain a cordial relationship with all of them. The phrase neighbors who are near are neighbors who may happen to be our relatives. Neighbors who are strangers are those with whom we have no family ties, and non-Muslim neighbors are also included in this category. Whereas companions by a roadside means person with whom we come in contact temporarily in our daily activities, like a casual acquaintance, a fellow traveler, whatever their religious denomination is. Islam reminds us that we have an obligation to be friendly and sympathetic towards all these categories of neighbors. In other hadiths of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it says, "He who believes in Allah and the day of recompense should never harm his neighbor." Now we move on to mutual rights of weak and poor. It has been made the duty of all well-to-do people to feed the hungry, provide clothing, and look after their well-being, to serve them in whatever way they can. The Holy Quran has enjoined at a number of places that the needs of the orphan, the weak, and the indigent person should be taken care of. In hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it says, "Feed the hungry, visit the sick, and free the captives." The next in this line is the right of Muslim on each others. Every Muslim is a Muslim brother. In Quran it says,
وَاخْفِضْ جَنَاحَكَ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ,
and be kind to believers in humbleness. One hadith of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, "Do not bear a grudge or enmity against each other. Do not be jealous of each other, and do not indulge in backbiting."